I am Jason Redd, and I am the instructor of the following courses: Introduction to Engineering Design, Principles of Engineering, Civil Engineering and Architecture, and Engineering Design and Development. Before I move any further in this presentation, I'd like for you to write or think of 3 questions that you have about me as your teacher, or me as a person in general, and then think of 3 questions that you may have about the course that you're taking. It's my hope that I will answer all the questions that you have about me or the course that you're taking in this presentation. But if I do not address any one of the questions that you have, please feel free to ask me that question in person or by email, and I will do the best I can to answer that question to the best of my ability. So my name is Jason Redd, and I graduated from Aiken High in 1996. After I graduated from Aiken High, I went to Aiken Technical College and earned an associate's degree in occupational technology with an emphasis in industrial drafting. While finishing up my associate's degree at Aiken Tech, I started working at Parsons Infrastructure and Technology here in Aiken and worked there until February of 2003. I started out at Parsons as a drafter and then worked my way to becoming a designer. By the time I left Parsons, I had become the drafting supervisor. When I left Parsons, I went to work at WR Tool Engineers in Augusta, Georgia, and stayed there until I came to teach here at Aiken High in August of 2007. At WR Tool Engineers, I worked as a drafter and designer, and then eventually as the drafting supervisor. I started teaching here at Aiken High in August of 2007. I am beginning my 15th year here at Aiken High. I am also the senior pastor at Corinth Baptist Church located in New Ellington, South Carolina. I married my high school sweetheart in August of 1999, and we have 2 daughters. My wife is the health science instructor at the Aiken County Career and Technology Center and the former school nurse at East Aiken School of the Arts. I am usually very easy to get along with, but of course, as all people, I do have my days. If you can follow the few rules I have and get along with me and others, we will all get along just fine. I am probably one of the easiest teachers to get along with. So why am I telling you all this information about myself? Well, mainly because I want you to know that I'm just a regular guy who just happens to have a job teaching drafting and engineering courses here at Aiken High. I have no agenda. I have no desire to give you a hard time, and I have no desire to see you fail. I just want the opportunity to teach you some drafting skills, some engineering concepts, and workplace skills that will prepare you whether you enter the workforce, go to a technical school, or a 4-year college. I want you to know that when you come into my class, you have a fresh start. No matter how bad of an experience you've had in another class or at another school, you have a clean slate when you come into my class. Your success or your failure will depend on your willingness to complete the work and study when needed. Someone once said, "We see what we expect to see, and we hear what we expect to hear." If you came into my class thinking I was just like every other teacher you've had before, there may be nothing I can do to change your mind except prove to you that I really do try not to be like other teachers. Hopefully that's what I'll be able to do over the course of this school year, and in the process, teach you a few things along the way about engineering that will prepare you for a job or college. Here is my contact information. The best way to reach me is by email. The best time to reach me by phone is after school or during one of my planning periods. Now, I want to talk about some of the courses that I teach, the required materials for those courses, and the required skills to be successful in those courses. The first pre-engineering Project Lead the Way course that I teach here at Aiken High is called Introduction to Engineering Design. It is an honors weighted course. The major focus of this course is on design. This course teaches problem-solving skills using a design development process. Models of product solutions are created, analyzed, and communicated using a CAD software called Autodesk Inventor. Onshape is an alternative CAD program that students may use in a virtual setting. This course is referred to as IED. The second pre-engineering Project Lead the Way course that I teach here at Aiken High is Principles of Engineering. Again, notice that this course is an honors weighted course. The major focus of this course is on engineering. This course is designed to help students understand the field of engineering and engineering technology. Exploring various technology systems and manufacturing processes helps students learn how engineers and technicians use math, science, and technology in an engineering problem-solving process to benefit people. This course is often referred to as POE. The third pre-engineering Project Lead the Way course that I teach here at Aiken High is called Civil Engineering and Architecture. Notice that this course is also an honors weighted course. The major focus of this course is on architecture and civil engineering and how these two engineering fields interact together. In this course, students are introduced to important aspects of residential and commercial structures and site design and development. This course is referred to as CEA. The fourth and final pre-engineering Project Lead the Way course that I teach here at Aiken High is also a Project Lead the Way capstone course. It is called Engineering Design and Development. Notice that this is also an honors weighted course. This is an engineering research course in which students work in teams to design and develop an original solution to a valid, open-ended technical problem by applying the engineering design process. Students will perform research to choose, define, validate, and justify a technical problem of their choice. After carefully defining the design requirements and creating multiple solution approaches, teams of students will select an approach and design, build, and test their solution. Student teams will present and defend their solution to an outside panel. This course is referred to as EDD. Here is the engineering pathway that students will take here at Aiken High School. This is a standard or typical pathway that students will take. This pathway can be modified depending on a student's grade level. Students will first take Introduction to Engineering Design, then they take Principles of Engineering, then Civil Engineering and Architecture, and then finally Engineering Design and Development. Sometimes I have students take Introduction to Engineering Design their 11th grade year, and then they really want to take Civil Engineering and Architecture, so they take that one next, and they don't even take Principles of Engineering or Engineering Design and Development. This pathway is designed so that students can be a completer in my program, but also we allow some flexibility for students who will not complete this program, but yet still want to get some experience in an engineering field that they think interests them the most. Here are the required materials for my courses. Pencils and/or pens. I prefer that students use pencils over pens simply because throughout my courses we will be doing some sketching, and students will want the ability to be able to erase parts of their sketches as they're sketching. Pens obviously do not allow you to do that. If a student chooses to use pens, I prefer they use blue or black ink pens. All students will also need a composition notebook, preferably a college-ruled notebook. Please do not use spiral notebooks in my class. Within the first couple weeks of class, we will discuss why we use composition notebooks. Notice that composition notebooks are notebooks that are bounded on the left side. POE and CEA students will need to have a scientific calculator. That is a calculator that has the sine, cosine, and tangent buttons. A TI-83 works the best, but they are not required. Here are some required skills needed from my courses. Basic math skills such as algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. Basic English skills such as reading and writing. Public speaking skills in an informal and formal setting. Notice that these are real-world skills used in an engineering setting and not just skills used only in the classroom. Notice that gaming is not one of the required skills needed for any of my courses, nor will you utilize any of your gaming skills in any of my courses. Just what is Project Lead the Way? Project Lead the Way provides a comprehensive approach to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. Project Lead the Way is the nation's leading provider of K-12 STEM programs. Through activity, project, and problem-based curriculum, Project Lead the Way gives students in kindergarten through high school a chance to apply what they know, identify problems, find unique solutions, and lead their own learning. Project Lead the Way programs are dynamic, rigorous, and emphasize creativity. Project Lead the Way programs offer students real-world, problem-solving, and critical thinking skills. Students in Project Lead the Way programs are highly engaged and are exposed to typically non-pursued areas of study. Students in Project Lead the Way programs are provided with a foundation and a proven path to college and career success. Project Lead the Way has more than 15,000 programs in over 12,200 U.S. schools, and millions of students are enrolled in Project Lead the Way programs across the United States. Here are some Project Lead the Way schools in Aiken County: Aiken High School, North Augusta High School, Rich Spring Minetta High School, Silver Bluff High School, and the Aiken County Career and Technology Center. Aiken Technical College also has some Project Lead the Way courses. What is the difference between a facilitator and a teacher? Well, a facilitator is a person who provides a group with information or tools needed to complete a task, where a teacher is a person who teaches information or skills to a group to prepare them for a task that will be completed. I will serve as both your facilitator and teacher. There will be times I will be just your facilitator, and other times I will be just your teacher. My role will depend on the content and the task. Throughout the years of teaching Project Lead the Way courses, I have found that students sometimes become frustrated with me because they want me to be a teacher when really I am instructed by the curriculum to be more of a facilitator of information. So please be patient with me, and please understand that there are times I am asked to be a facilitator and other times I am asked to be a teacher. For IED, POE, and CEA, a typical unit or lesson will usually involve students being given some sort of overview of the unit or lesson where the learning objectives and essential questions are reviewed and discussed. A typical unit or lesson will usually involve students viewing PowerPoints. Those PowerPoints will either be led by me or will be self-guided by the students themselves. A typical unit or lesson will usually involve students completing any number of activities and/or projects. A typical unit or lesson will also involve students taking a test at the conclusion of that unit or lesson. All test questions will prepare students for the end-of-course test, and that end-of-course test will be given at the end of the school year. Within a normal school year, I typically do not assign homework. What type of student does well in my courses? The student who is creative, who likes to design things, the student who is a hands-on learner, the student who is an underachiever who might get hooked by an interesting project-based class, the student who is interested in computers, science, and technology, the student who is good in math and science, the student who is easy to get along with and likes to work with others. Who will pass this course? Who will be successful in this course? The student who is willing to do the work. I believe there are two types of students, and I believe you choose to be one of these two types of students. I believe there are low performance students and successful students. Low performance students have no sense of their future. Their focus is short term, and many times they're just trying to survive. Successful students are students who have a strong sense of self-government and independence. They believe they choose their future. They know that if they put in the hard work, they will be successful. Which kind of student do you choose to be? Here are some of the digital platforms that we will use. There are some digital platforms you are expected to use throughout my courses. First is PowerSchool. That gives you access to your grades. Your username and password can be picked up from the counseling office. Once an assignment has been graded, the grade will be posted on PowerSchool. I will do my best to grade assignments as soon as possible. Next is your Office 365 and computer login information. Your Office 365 account will give you access to your school email account, your cloud storage, and programs such as Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Teams. Your username and password will be provided to you by the school district. And here is an example of what your email address will look like. If you do not know your Office 365 or computer login information, I can try and look that information up for you. From Office 365, we will be using the following programs: Outlook, OneDrive, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and of course Teams. It is expected that all students will check their emails regularly, preferably daily. You will create a folder for your course in your OneDrive and share that folder with me, and save all your work for my course in that folder. Next is Schoology. This will be the primary platform for classroom instruction. Your username is your school ID number, and your password should be what is shown here on the screen. If either your username or password do not work, I can verify what they are for you. You will access and submit all assignments through Schoology. To access and log into your Schoology account, go to Digital Resources/Portals on the school district website. Next, scroll down and choose Schoology. Then enter your email or username, which will be your school ID number, and your password, which should be what is shown here on the screen. Once you are logged into your Schoology account, from the menu at the top of your screen, choose Courses and choose your course. Next is Remind. This is a great tool for me to send quick and short messages or reminders for classroom-related things. To join Remind, text the code for your course to the following number: 81010. Throughout the course of the year, you or your parents may need to access my school webpage for course syllabi, course calendars, Project Lead the Way information, and other general documents. Please note, all course content will be made available online through Schoology, and all other course-related documents will be made available on my school webpage located on the school's website for you and your parents. Follow these steps for accessing my school webpage. To find my school webpage, on the school district's webpage, choose Aiken High School from the Choose Your School option in the top right-hand corner, or use your internet's browser to search for Aiken High School, or simply type in the following address. The address is shown here on the screen. On the main menu bar, select Academics and then choose Teachers. Then select my name, Red Jason, from the list of names. Then you will be directed to my school webpage. All course calendars will be located on your courses page on my school webpage, and all Project Lead the Way course content will be online on Schoology. Your course has been set up so that all students who have access to a computer or device and internet can work from home if needed. This will be useful for students who miss school for any reason, who have fallen behind, or who just wants to continue working on an assignment from class. But you will need your Schoology username and password to access all online course content. Major assignments, which include tests, projects, and writing tasks, will make up 60% of your grade. Class participation, which include in-class discussions, small group work, preparation for class, and research, and daily assignments, such as activities and essential question responses, will make up 40% of your grade. Semester projects or exams will make up 20% of your semester grade. Here is the grading scale for our school district. What to expect when you're expecting to pass. Let's go over the classroom rules and classroom procedures. My classroom rules are: observe the Aiken County School District's Code of Student Conduct and Aiken High School's Student Handbook, including appropriate usage of the Internet. Respect everyone. Be prepared. Maintain a clean and orderly, safe work area. No food or drinks unless given permission. All students will require access to a computer. Almost 90 to 95% of what you will do in your course requires the use of a computer. Students will use their school devices for most of their work, but they will need access to specific software on the computers in my computer lab. Your computer usage in the computer lab can and will be restricted if you do not follow the computer use rules. Please review the computer use rules carefully. Here are the computer use rules. Students are not allowed in computer labs without teacher supervision. Students are not allowed to check non-school related email accounts while on a school computer. Students are not allowed to chat or instant message while on a school computer. Students may not download or install any software on a school computer, nor do anything that changes the appearance or affects the settings of a school computer. Students will not download anything to a school computer. Students will not misuse computer hardware and software, such as sending out unauthorized messages, vandalizing equipment, altering a software program, or plagiarism. Students will use the internet for only appropriate school-related activities or work, and only with a teacher's permission. Students must not download or do anything to bypass the school district's firewall while on a school computer. Students will not play games on school computers. Food or drink is not allowed in the computer lab at any time. Let's review some procedures or rules related to inappropriate websites. If a student receives permission to use the internet to complete a legitimate search and an inappropriate website opens, immediately shut off the monitor and raise your hand. If it is discovered that a student uses the internet to view any inappropriate website, a referral will be written and that student will be sent directly to the office. Do not alter the web browser history for any reason. The school's network administrator at the district keeps a record of every site visited and any search made on every computer. If you delete the browser history, I will ask to have your internet history researched. The student will lose internet access privileges for inappropriate usage of the computer and internet. If a student chooses to break a classroom rule or a computer use rule, the student will be disciplined. For the first offense, a warning will be given, and that depends upon the offense. For the second through fourth offenses, you may join the 500 Club, you could add to your membership of the 500 Club, and a classroom referral will be written for each offense. Loss of computer privileges for the day or longer may also occur, and your parents may be contacted. For the fifth offense, an office referral will be written and sent to your grade level administrator for consequence. For severe disruptions, an office referral will be written and the student will be sent to the office. What is the 500 Club? When a student chooses to break a rule, they will first be warned. This is their first offense. When a second offense occurs, a student will join the 500 Club. In the 500 Club, a student will write the numbers 1 through 500 on a piece of paper. After each offense, the number will increase by 500. For example, a student who has reached the fourth offense will have to write the numbers 1 through 1500. When the fifth offense occurs, a referral will be written. All required numbers, depending on the number of offenses, will be due at the beginning of the class on the next school day. What is the difference between classroom and office referrals? For all minor offenses, a classroom referral will be recorded and your parents may be contacted. No action will occur from your grade level administrator. This is for documentation purposes only. For all major offenses, an office referral will be written. Action will be taken by your grade level administrator and your parents will be contacted. Aiken High does have a robotics team, so if you are really interested in engineering, this would provide you with an extra opportunity to develop some design and engineering skills. Listen out for an announcement about when the robotics team will begin meeting. They usually meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Here are some things you may be wondering. Can I be a student aide or helper from Mr. Red? I normally do not accept student aides or helpers. Can I come to Mr. Red's class to hang out if I have completed work from another class? The only students allowed in my classroom are students enrolled in one of my courses. The only time students are allowed into my classroom are if a student needs to use a computer to complete work for my class or another class. No student can come into my class to just hang out. There are no exceptions. Let's go over some classroom procedures. Arriving to class tardy. If you come to class late without a pass, I will mark you tardy. If you are coming to class late because you were with another teacher, do not assume I know that. For your first 3 tardies, I generate classroom referrals for each one. When you get your 4th tardy, I will generate an office referral. This is your official warning. Using inappropriate language. If you use inappropriate language in my class, I handle it similar to how tardies are handled. For your first 3 times you use inappropriate language, I generate classroom referrals. After the 4th offense, I will generate an office referral. This is your official warning. Eating and drinking in the computer lab. I do not want food or drinks in the computer lab area. If you eat or drink in the computer lab, you will be warned. If you are caught eating and drinking in the computer lab after being warned several times, do not be surprised if I throw your food and drink in the trash. This is your official warning. Late work. All daily assignments assigned each week will be due the Monday of the next week unless another deadline is given. At that time, the appropriate grade will be entered into the gradebook. If the assignment has not been submitted by its initial deadline, a 0 will be entered into the gradebook. If the assignment has not been submitted by its deadline, the student will then be given 1 week to submit that assignment without loss of points to their final grade for that assignment. If a student submits an assignment after 1 week has passed from the initial deadline, the best grade a student can earn for that assignment is a 60. All projects will be given a deadline. When the deadline has passed, the project will be graded and the appropriate grade will be entered into the gradebook. If the project has not been submitted by its initial deadline, a 0 will be entered into the gradebook. The procedure for submitting a project after its initial deadline will be the same as daily assignments. All daily assignments and projects must be submitted by the end of the 9 weeks it was assigned in or by the deadline set towards the end of the 9 weeks so that final grades for that 9 weeks can be finalized. Exceptions will be made for students who are returning to school from an extended excused absence or any student on homebound. It is the student's responsibility to contact me in person or by email concerning the assignments or projects they have missed while absent from school. Returning to class after an absence. If a student is absent during the course of an assignment or project because of an illness, they were out of town, or on a field trip, It is the student's responsibility to contact me in person or by email concerning the assignments or projects missed while absent from school. Please note that all assignments and projects can be accessed at any time on Schoology. If an assignment was due on the day a student is absent, that assignment is due when the student returns to class. If a test was to be given on the day a student is absent, the student will take that test when they return to class. If a student is absent when they otherwise would have been working on a project over a set period of time, however many days they were absent will be added to the assignment's deadline. Start of the period. When students enter class, they are expected to begin preparing to work on whatever assignment or project has been assigned. Most assignments will either be written on the board or will have already been assigned. Look for your class abbreviation on the whiteboard. Weekly agendas will also be posted on Schoology. Entering the computer lab area. Students need to ask for permission before entering the computer lab area. Students should go directly to the computer lab unless the assignment has not been given. No standing around talking. Can I go to the restroom? Yes, the bathrooms in F Wing will be available, but we must follow any school procedure for students going to the restroom. Getting the students' attention. When I want the attention of all the students, I will ask for it. I will not continue with any instruction until everyone is quiet and I have everyone's attention. There will be times I will ask students not to go into the computer lab area, but instead I will ask them to sit at the large tables so that instructions can be given. Students seeking help. If a student needs to ask a question or needs assistance, the student is to raise their hand and I will come as soon as possible. Please be patient. Listening to and responding to questions. If another student is responding to a question, please remain quiet while they are talking. If you would like to respond to a question, raise your hand. Keeping a student notebook. All students are asked to keep a notebook. When notes are taken or given to students, they should be put in their notebooks. All assignments, including worksheets, sketches, group activities, and project summaries, should be kept in their notebooks. Notebooks will be checked and graded accordingly, usually at the end of each unit or lesson. Getting materials without disturbing others. When students are getting materials, they are to do it without disturbing others. That means going straight to what you need, getting it, and returning to your seat. No student is allowed in my office without permission. Moving around the classroom. Students should only move around the classroom when directed to do so. When helping others or getting help from others, ask me before doing so. When moving around the classroom, do not distract others. Here are some hidden rules from my courses. How do I succeed in this class? Do the work, do your best, and follow the rules, and I promise you will be successful in my class. How do I fail this class? If you attempt to do no work, you never try, you never follow the rules, I promise you will fail my class. Can I have fun in this class? Absolutely. Yes, it is okay to enjoy this class. Can I and when can I talk in this class? Yes, absolutely you can talk in my class, but never talk while I'm talking and never talk to the point it stops you or someone else from working. Just don't get loud. What do I do if I need or want something? If you need something or want something, just ask. I just might be able to help you. Can I have my cell phone out in class? Cell phones and all other electronic devices are prohibited for personal use during school hours. This applies to even student aides or helpers or students coming from another class to use a computer to complete work. Cell phones or other electronic devices may only be used for instructional purposes. For example, submitting assignments on Schoology or watching an instructional video from my YouTube channel. Please make me aware if you need to use your cell phone to submit an assignment or if you are using it to watch an instructional video from my YouTube channel. That concludes this presentation about my courses. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me in person or by email.